Crash Course DM.
Hey everybody, it's me, Josh Greenway, your Dungeon Newbie and lighter at the end of a dimly lit tunnel. Welcome back to the Collide for a very special one-shot adventure. We're breaking out a character today, and we're going to go on a different kind of adventure. We're going to be playing through Jennifer Adcock's Grammy's Country Apple Pie, taking place in the quaint village of Plickle. We will have a special adventure party, not our normal cast of characters, but a lot of our normal players. And so joining us as usual is Daniel Locke.
Hi there, my name is Daniel Locke. Today I will be playing the Fire Genasi wizard, Sara Lee. She is the youngest daughter of a conglomerate, a bread company conglomerate, I think is how you would say that. And she's looking to make a name for herself in the world.
And we have Chris Hilfiger.
Yeah, Chris here. I'm going to be playing a character, an old snowy owl, Aarakocra. His name is Bubo. This is Bubo Scandiacus. This guy, he's lived a long life. He's got a lot of stories and really just wants to tell it to anybody who'll listen.
Does Bubo smoke?
Canonically, he does now.
Okay. Cool.
And of course, we have Shay Ingram.
Hi, everybody. It's Shay. Today, I'm going to be playing Vesper Thornforge, known to his friends as Gimlet. He's a hill dwarf barbarian. He comes from a small mining town where, people have heard stories from here over about the Sneebler cookie mining elves and dwarves. So he's part of that village. He's also a big believer in Krampus. Just really likes the idea of like punishment, but also mischievousness. So that's his whole thing.
Nice. Awesome. And we have a new guest on the show, Eric Cohen.
Hey, everybody. I'm Eric. Today I'm going to be playing a character, Oolong the Gentle. My name is Oolong, and for me, I'm a monk, a Goliath monk. I definitely enjoy making tea and craft teas of all sorts. Occasionally a tea with maybe, more than taste, we'll say. And in my spare time, I practice the martial arts, but I am afraid to use them unless I really need to.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, thank you all for joining me today for a very special session of Crash Course DM. Before we get into the adventure, I want to set a few goals with you all that I've been working on for today's session. So there are 3 of them. On one hand, I have learned a one-shot in an afternoon for totally planned reasons and sort of familiarize with myself with the story, and I plan on having this whole thing be accomplishable in under 2 hours. And then I'm going to be trying some new tech behind the DM screen to kind of manage the flow of information. And I'm not going to say what it is or what I'm doing, but my hope is that things are a little more fluid, where sometimes I end up maybe looking stuff up a lot and adding some wait time into the game. And then the other thing is just, it's really kind of tied to that, which is time management. Again, I want to do this in a really specific time frame. So this will hopefully be an honest to God one shot this time instead of the last time I tried this when it was like 3 episodes. Or no, it was 6. It was too many. It was 2. It was only 2. Hey everyone, Past Josh here. Just cutting in to give you a little more detail on this session. So scheduling issues happen from time to time, and I didn't want to skip game night. Instead, I thought it would be fun to see how effectively I could pivot for the players and put together another adventure. Since I didn't have the time to write something from scratch, I wanted to use the usual campaign setting of the Collide and modify some pre-written content from someone else. I super love running pre-written adventures because I have plenty to choose from, and you don't have to do as much inventing either on the fly or before the session. It's just about familiarizing yourself and then being flexible to the players. We're also going to have a less experienced guest player on, so I want to make sure that they're going to be successful and have a good time and feel included and comfortable playing with everyone. With that, I'm also going to focus a lot on player time and balancing that between all of them. For this session, I'm going to use my computer to manage a lot of the information that I have ready. I've got browser tabs open for all the possible monsters and equivalent stat blocks for any NPCs that they might get spicy with. And then I've been using Notion, the note-taking app, a lot for running game sessions. And so I want to test out a newly reorganized layout where I have a nicely collapsible section for wherever they might be in the adventure. I'm also using a 5e shops catalog that I found on the DM Academy subreddit from user Elnalisk. I've overleveled everyone for the adventure because I want things to happen faster, and I just think it's more fun when you have more decisions you can make as a player. So to call the shot, I am anticipating mostly role-playing, some investigative work, maybe a combat, and they're going to find this recipe with probably not a ton of effort, but I hope it'll be fun along the way. So let's see how it goes. Your adventure today, to give you a taste of what you're in for, when an ancient wizard Tyndareus develops a craving for a special treat from his childhood, he'll stop at nothing to get his hands on the best apple pie in all of the Collide. He hires a group of adventurers to seek out the bakery that once produced the wonderful dessert. Unfortunately for them, it has long since been overrun by goblins. But all is not as it seems at Grammy's bakery, and Tyndareus isn't the only one who'd do anything for one of those pies. That's kind of what you all are in for. So, any questions or comments before we step into the adventure? All right, let's do the thing. Although you were initially distrustful when the imp appeared at the door to let you into this old wizard's tower, inside you have seen enough benign wonders to assuage your concerns. At the top of a long, winding staircase is the wizard's study, and within you see a room lined with bookshelves and a desk covered in bubbling potions, mysterious trinkets, and ink-stained scraps of parchment. An elderly gnome with wispy white hair, milky eyes, and a large hooked nose sits in a cozy chair behind the desk. He very slowly stands up and introduces himself as Tyndareus the Green. He pours you each a cup of tea, winking slowly at Oolong, and finally tells you why he summoned you here.
When I was but a lad, I tasted the most wonderful treat in all of the material planes. I remember it like it was yesterday. Granny's country apple pies. The bakery was near my hometown, and you could smell the spices all day and night, no matter where you were in town. Alas, when I went away to Wizard College, the place went overrun by goblins and ne'er-do-wells, and no one has ever dared go back since. I'd love to taste one of those heavenly pies just once more before I depart for the celestial plane. If I give you a map to the bakery, could you go in and find the secret recipe before I go to the airport this afternoon?
Granny's still in there churning out these pies, even with all the ruffians you mentioned?
No, she's super dead.
Who's making the pie then?
He sort of looks down at the ground. He's like,
Nobody. It's just in disrepair. You know, it's a bad situation. I just want some paperwork from there.
Why, certainly, I'm no baker, but I have been known to put ingredients together to make a delectable treat. If we only had but the recipe, perhaps I could assist.
Yes, that would be wonderful. And you can get the recipe. It should be on the premises. I need your help recovering it.
You know, this reminds me of a time when I was just a lad, and there was a guy that needed some. Actually, it was my dad. He needed some cigarettes, and so he went out to get some, and he never came back.
Jesus Christ, man.
Is this what's gonna happen here?
I'll still be here when you come back. Well, I might not. I do have to go to the airport in 2 hours.
No, we got 2 hours. Hey, this reminds me of a time that...
Sir, listen, I understand you feel the need to be heard, but if you could help me, look, here's some equipment to get you started.
and he starts rummaging through a closet nearby that is filled to the brim with all kinds of very, very powerful magical items of just incredible value. And he just pulls out a rust-covered bag from a corner of the closet and throws it over at you. He's like,
no one will miss this. Here you go.
And he hands your party the rust bag of tricks. which is a bag that has a bunch of fuzzy things in it, and you can pull up to 3 of them out per day, and they will become one of 8 animals, depending on what number you roll on a D8.
Cool.
So here's some kit. No, could you go get me the recipe?
All right, I suppose. I never seen the need for a recipe much. We just remember everything at the mine.
Well, that is just a travesty. Everything must be done a proper way.
The proper way is our way.
Actually, my, the one that gives me my powers, Little Debbie, she always says do it her way or you die. So I think I'm going to do it her way.
I'm sorry, did you say you get your powers from Little Debbie?
That's her, my patron.
Oh, that's some dark stuff, man.
Yeah, I mean, she's not the greatest, but she's done nice stuff for me, I guess.
Hell yeah. Listen, I've already ordered my ride on Rendezvous, so could you please... they're only going to wait for me for 5 minutes once they get here. It's a whole schedule thing, so if we could get a move on.
All
or
right.
if you could get a move on. I have to pack.
I guess we should leave then. You guys know where this place is?
Oh, if I give you a map, here's a map to the bakery.
You gave us a
yes.
map, that's right. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. It looks like about 10 minutes north. You know, when I was a kid, I used to travel 10 minutes north to get to the playground all the time. Good times.
And so as you sort of leave the wizard's castle, listening to another story from Bubo of his childhood, you have an opportunity to, if you want to stock up on any items or anything before you head out of town, let me know. Otherwise, we'll head over to the spot. Yeah?
I'm all set.
I'm ready.
We're all ready to go.
Yep.
Fantastic. Just going to roll a dice real quick. Oh, tight. Okay, cool. So as you are making your way out on the outskirts of town on one of the main roads, a spider drops out of a tree nearby. And I would like you all to roll for initiative.
We got right into that, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
16.
All right. 16.
12 for Bubo.
It's a 3 for Vesper.
3 for
18.
Vesper. Oh, Oolong.
Sound like
okay.
Arthur Morgan from Red Dead Redemption.
Yes, absolutely.
We haven't heard those tales out in the mine.
The spider jumps out of the tree in front of the path where you're traveling, and Oolong, it's trying to get the jump on you all, but you see it coming, and you are first to act in the initiative.
I'd like to pick up the spider and examine it for the pattern on its back.
So this is a very large spider. It's going to be a pretty tough strength check.
My apologies. I was imagining more of a black widow.
Sorry, yeah.
I like your spirit.
A spider that is almost as tall as you drops out of the tree, Oolong, and is advancing menacingly on your party. But you are first to act.
Yes, I'd like to ask the spider what its name is.
Do you have speak with animals, or do you have the...
Unless you speak spider, you do not.
I do not.
Okay, so you ask it what its name is, and that is a free action. I will just let you do that and say its response is... and its mouth is dripping venom.
My first action, then, is to offer it a biscuit.
Okay, your first action will be to offer it a biscuit. I would like you to make an animal handling check. And so what you're going to do is roll a d20 and add +2, or just tap on animal handling in the app.
17.
Ooh. Well. It is intrigued by your biscuit, but it does not pick it up. It does not pick up your biscuit. It doesn't seem to want it. You have a bonus action.
My bonus action is to pick up the biscuit and eat it myself. Nom, 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 nom.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, great. You are you're down a biscuit, and is that the end of your turn? Is there anything else you want to do?
I pass.
Up next in the initiative is the spider.
I don't blame you, kid. I never waste a biscuit either.
And so the spider is very confused. It's going to try to web Oolong. Okay, does a 11 beat your AC or meet it?
No, my armor class is 16.
All right, so it tries to shoot a web at you, and it's still so thrown off by the biscuit that you tried to give it and that you immediately took away from it that it just kind of misses and spits a little bit to the side of your head instead.
Whew.
So up next in the initiative order is Sara Lee.
Seems it didn't take quite to your biscuit, Oolong.
Well, it clearly doesn't have good taste.
You are correct. I will deal with that for you then. And I attempt to operate a French-style cheesecake with strawberry on it.
Do you have a
She's a baker and she's a merchant.
All right, I'm gonna give you that, man. Yeah, let's do an animal handling check with a cheesecake. You know what? No, actually, make animal handling. I was gonna say persuasion, but it still feels better than that.
Oh, that's hot garbage. It is a 13.
The spider knocks the cake out of your hands.
How dare you? Do I still have an action? If not, I'm about to blow its brains out.
Yes, you can have an action.
I will scorching ray its ass.
All right, roll for scorching ray ass.
How dare you waste a perfectly good cheesecake?
Oh wait, is there a roll or is it a save on my end?
It is a attack roll, and
That's
it's going to be
right.
3 rays, and the first roll was 16, and then the next one is 17, and the last one is 13. Do any of those hit?
Everything but the last one.
Okay, so it's 2 hits, so it takes 9 and 7, so 16.
Looking bad. Yeah, that was a really solid blow. So you fire off your 3 scorching rays at the spider. As it's like trying to stomp vindictively on your cheesecake, you just go after it and you nail it right as it's not paying
You
attention.
bastard! How dare you? That was perfectly good food. It even contained my secret ingredient. Well, you'll never find out what it was now.
Up next, we have Bubo in the initiative.
I cast Speak with Animals at will. I don't have to use a spell slot or anything.
Nice. Okay.
You could do this the entire time. You're so slow.
It wasn't my turn, sorry.
That's what you get for smoking all the time, sir.
Anyway, hey, Spider.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, why are you stomping on cheesecakes and biscuits? You're being a jerk.
It's all garbage. I didn't ask you to come here.
It just called my cheesecake garbage. Well, I can't.
You can't understand me. Shut up.
He
This is
called
an
your
AB
cheesecake garbage.
conversation.
Wait, sorry, I'm interrupting you. Say it again.
I was just saying this was an AB conversation.
Yeah, you should see his way out of it, right?
Did that spider really just make the AB conversation, Joe?
He really did. I like this guy. Hey, you're all right.
I'd like to slap it on the back in a friendly way.
Very manly way.
I'd like to put one wing around the spider, like I'm putting it over his shoulder, and say,
You know, I like you. You got guts, kid. You're gonna go a long way in this life, really, honestly. So hey, we're trying to find a bakery, and you're kind of in the way. Can you like go away or something?
Make an animal handling check.
Didn't even offer food. God.
it's a 10.
As soon as you get your wing up, it sort of shrugs you off. It's like,
You're cramping my style, kid.
Okay. Well, we still need you to like get out of the way or move. I mean, if you don't, we're gonna kill you. So.
Pass.
All right. Well, nice knowing you. And that's my turn.
oh, okay. All right. Up next, we have in the initiative Vesper.
All right, Vesper's seen this transpire and trying to feed this spider snacks and trying to talk with him and be pals, and he's getting a little irritated. So Vesper's gonna swing with his maul, but he's gonna do a reckless attack.
Okay, go for it.
So I'm gonna get advantage,
Uh-huh.
but then any attacks against me get advantage until my next turn.
Got it.
Okay.
I feel like that's not going to be a problem.
That's an 18 to hit.
That hits.
Perfect. All right, and then that's 10 damage, 10 bludgeoning damage.
Vesper, call your shot.
Oh boy. The Vesper's in the back. He's just mumbling to himself. He's like, this is ridiculous, trying to give this spider biscuits and cakes and make friends with them. I can't believe you guys. We got a mission to do here. Get out of the way. And he's just going to step up. He's going to squash that little bug right against the ground with his big hammer.
Ooh,
Just
yeah.
spider guts everywhere. And I'm going to turn back to Bubo. I'm going to say, now who's got guts?
Well, it's still him. It's just all over the place now, I guess.
All right, you are out of initiative. You have crushed the spider, and you make your way to the... He didn't even get an attack on anyone. Okay, cool. Yeah, you make your way through the rest of the trip unscathed. And as you approach the large stone building of the bakery, the road turns into a gravel path surrounded by an overgrown lawn, leading toward a large set of wooden double doors. The fragrance of ripening apples is just thick in the air from the old apple orchard in the back, and you can see the trees kind of growing wild above the bakery. There is one massive apple tree near the path to the front doors, and as the wind whistles through the long grasses, you notice that the bark of the tree looks almost like an ancient, wise face. And as you approach, it sort of wakes up and just sort of looks blearily over at all of you.
Hey, that look like a face to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
A handsome face.
Oh.
What?
Yes.
He's right. He's right. That's a good-looking tree face. I mean, I guess it is. Yeah. I haven't seen a face that handsome since, my friend, probably about 20 years ago. Did I ever tell you about it?
No, and we don't have time for that.
Make a group charisma check.
What does that mean?
You're just gonna, the two of you roll well, it'll be a success.
Okay, so everybody's rolling charisma?
Yeah.
18.
18.
10 again.
11.
All right. Yeah, 2 18s will do it. As you're complimenting the looks of the tree, a pair of eyes on the face sort of blearily open towards her.
Hello, welcome to the bakery. Yes, my name is Mac.
Nice to meet you, Mac.
What brings you here? Did you come to see my beautiful face?
I guess that was part of the deal, but we're looking for Grandma's apple pie recipe.
Grandma's she's super dead. You know that, right? She can't give it to you.
We understand, but we still need the recipe, and we're hoping to recreate the apple pie even after his passing. Is it still here?
Kind of thinks to himself for a minute and shakes the tree a little bit in thought and is like,
Well, I don't know about any recipes, but old Grammy, she used to talk all the time with the dryads out in the back, so you could perhaps find some information there.
Okay. That's a start. How's that sound? Shall we go to speak to some dryads on the back?
First, I'd like to pick up some of the rocks on this gravel path and save them in my pack for use with my sling, should I need it.
Oh, and Mac, as an additional question, we will be looking to make these apple pies. May we have some of the apples on your tree?
Oh, sure, yeah.
and when he shivered before, some fell off and he shakes again and a bunch more come raining down.
I'll quickly gather some up.
So you have we'll say 12 apples with you.
May I look for specifically 3.14 apples?
Yeah, you can try to roll for pie.
Okay.
And, no, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Yes, you find 3 and almost half of an apple on the ground.
Well, that's too much.
That's
like 3.45.
3 point what? Like
3.14.
Oh, 1 4.
This is a
yeah.
very intricate math joke, but let's
This is
just go
great
with the
radio.
dryad.
This is fantastic radio. Yeah. Okay. You find a little piece of one apple next to 3 other apples.
You can skip that whole joke.
And it just keeps going forever and keeps repeating.
Yes, you find an infinite tiny piece of apple on the ground.
Look at this crumb. It never ends.
Vesper.
Matt, can I sidebar with you real quick?
Yeah, I mean, I can't go anywhere, but I'll talk quieter next to you if you stand here, so yeah, sure.
Perfect. I guess that was really a message to my colleagues not to listen in on our conversation.
Subtle.
Yes, okay.
I love social cues.
Bubo listens in.
And I'm gonna come close. I'm gonna whisper, "Any elves live inside you?"
No, that's gross.
All right, just making sure.
Ugh, my cousin had elves once. It took forever. They had to burn out the inside to get it to stop coming back.
What'd they make?
Little shortbread confectionaries.
I knew it.
And I'll walk back to the group.
He looks really unsettled at that.
Everything okay, Gimlet?
Yeah, it's fine.
All right. I didn't hear any of it, so I'm moving on.
I'm gonna look at Bubo and just squint my eyes,
Don't say a word. Okay. Yep, I definitely won't share your secret with anyone ever.
All right. So are we heading to the orchard, the apple orchard, or what do you guys want to do next? You do have the front door of the bakery available to you, and there's a sort of waste pile off to the side as well that you could walk over to. There's also a stairway off to the side, and up top there's an apartment that you could go to, and then there's a little guardhouse off to the side that has a corridor that leads and connects to the bakery.
wow.
Well, seems like there's a lot of ground to cover. Shall
And
we all
there's
split up?
presumably other things out back as well.
So there's things out back. There's a guardhouse, and then there's the building
And there's some
Proper?
dryads around somewhere.
Yeah, there are some dryads in the orchard
I got it. Okay.
that seem to be a source of information.
So are we currently in the orchard?
You are out front.
Got it. Okay. So we're looking in.
I agree. Perhaps to cover the most ground in the least amount of time, since time is of the essence, we should split up.
All right.
Yeah, okay. That's fine.
I'll check out that garbage pile.
I figured that's probably where you'd go.
Oolong wanted to speak with the dryads.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Maybe they want a biscuit.
Sarah and Oolong go to the apple orchard. Vesper is going to the waste pile. Where does Bubo go?
Guardhouse.
The guardhouse. Okay, fantastic. So we'll do this. We're going to go to the apple orchard first. So as Oolong and Sarah make their way to the apple orchard, the scent of apples hangs even thicker in the air as shade pervades everything. And the older trees are all arranged in these neat, orderly rows. And you can see that over time, where the younger trees are popping up, it's like apples fell there at one point. It's very messy. It's clearly becoming overgrown. There is a whispering sound that doesn't seem to come from just the rustling in the wind as you're here. Early ripened apples litter the ground, and as you approach, one of them lifts up and flies through the air and narrowly misses your head, squishing onto the side of a tree nearby. And the sound of whispering is joined by the faint sound of giggling.
Who goes there?
There's no initial response.
Would you like a biscuit?
Or a pie. We have banana cream.
Make a persuasion check.
Persuasion check of 8.
There's still no reply.
I throw an apple back at them.
How are you throwing this apple?
Like a softball lob.
Okay. When you say a softball lob, I'm assuming it's in more of like a playful manner and not like
yes.
okay,
Not
cool.
aggressive.
So I'll let you choose between like persuasion or performance here.
I'll do persuasion. Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, 21.
Okay. Nice job. As you throw the rotted apple kind of back to, or you pick up another apple and you throw it where the original one came from, it goes sailing through the air and it starts to slow down as it falls, and it hangs there in midair, and leaves start to swirl up from around the ground and take the form of a tree dryad. And she stands there in front of you and holds the apple and just kind of grins and smirks, and softball throws it back to you.
I catch it.
Hey there.
Hey there.
What brings you, oh my God, you're Sara Lee.
I am Sara Lee.
Why are you here? We love your bread.
You do? Oh my gosh. I'm still working on the recipe, but I'm glad to meet a fan. I have plenty of other desserts in the cart that we've come along with. Would you care for a cream pie?
I would love a cream pie. It's my cheat day. That's fantastic.
Perfect. I wanted to introduce you. This is my friend Oolong. He brews a wonderful tea that goes exquisitely with the pies.
Oh, hello there. And she walks up to Oolong and extends out a very long arm, basically made of leaves and branches and vines, to shake your hand.
Yes. Oh, well, I must shake in return.
Oh, that's a super gentle handshake. Wow.
They don't call me Oolong the Gentle for nothing.
Oh my God, you're so funny. She fans herself a little bit. How can I help you, gentlemen? Or you sir and ma'am?
We're looking for a grandma's apple pie recipe. It's part of a quest, and we're trying to expand also my personal inventory of what I can offer to the people around the world.
Oh my goodness. No one's come about asking about Granny's recipe in forever. We miss her all the time. We used to love smelling it.
Whatever happened to her?
Well, we just sort of didn't see her again after the collide several years back. And with everybody who, I think she was just kind of one of the victims of it.
Plenty of families were uprooted, from what I hear. Even back home at the Hillshire Farms.
That's brutal stuff. But Grammy, she was a scrappy type. She really liked to make sure that she had information available. I know that she definitely kept like the first half of the recipe in the front office, right? But she was a little security conscious, so she tore it. We saw her tear it up one day, and the other piece of it is actually in her apartment.
Oh, okay. Well then, we have an idea where to look.
Thank you. That was so helpful.
So here's the deal. Some real fucking characters have moved in. You're going to need to be on the lookout for goblins. Okay, if you're trying to get the jump on them, they don't know anything about what's going on in the loading dock, but otherwise they might be sort of hanging out. Wait, it's just the two of you?
There's 2 more of our friends walking around.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you've got like a group, it should be fine. It should be good. Maybe don't hurt any trees while you're here.
Oh, definitely not. We met a very handsome one earlier by the name of Mac.
Oh, Mac. She fans herself again.
But the loading dock, it's a way to sneak up on them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wonderful. All right. We've got a way to head off. Anything else you wish to speak with them, Oolong?
No, unless you'd like a biscuit.
Please, that would be, honestly, a biscuit would be great. I haven't had a biscuit since Granny disappeared.
Hands a biscuit.
She takes the biscuit from you with like both hands like it's precious and then just smashes it into her face to eat it. Like she's like waving to you as she's disappearing into leaves again.
All right.
Before we cut away, where are you two going
We're
to
going
head?
to try to catch up with the other 2.
Are you both heading to we've got the waste pile and we've got the guardhouse.
Which one of them seems more problematic and will like cause trouble?
Let's go to the guardhouse.
All right. Sounds about right. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. And so we cut over to the waste pile. Vesper approaches what was once an orderly row of compost and waste bins that have long since heaped up into a massive trash pile. It is overgrown with fungus, and other decomposers are taking advantage of a ready supply of food. It smells absolutely terrible. The odor is being carried on the breeze, and it just keeps getting thicker and thicker as you get closer to the trash pile.
There's really, really piss poor management at this place. I don't know what kind of operation they're running. But I'll take a look. Maybe there's something here. I'd like to rummage through it and see if I can find anything.
Okay, as you approach the waste pile, a violet fungus slowly squishes out of it from between the trash bits. And violet fungus just like starts oozing out of the trash at you.
Is it like sentient?
Yeah, it appears to be not aggressive, but it's like moving towards you. It's slowly inching
I'd like to
towards
try
you.
to talk to it and say, hey, I'm not trying to encroach on your area here. We're just looking for an apple pie recipe.
It keeps sludging towards you.
All right, I'm going to back up slowly.
It can't keep up with you as you walk away from it, like at a normal
Okay.
walking speed.
I'd love to work with you here, buddy. I don't want to be at odds with each other. I'm just trying to find any information I can.
As it sludges towards you, you see on the ground behind it that everything is dead. Like as it goes over little bits of grass and flowers.
All right. I want to try and hit it with my maul. If it's not stopping, I'm going to...
Yeah.
I tried to warn you, buddy, but if you're going to keep coming at me...
Okay. Yeah. Roll for attack.
I'm going to do reckless attack again. 13.
Okay, that absolutely hits.
Okay. 11 bludgeoning damage.
Okay, as you hit it, you absolutely decimate this thing and just flatten it into the ground, and it dies, and like just you destroy it. You utterly destroy it.
Oh, that was easy. I'm going to reapproach the pile and try to look through it. I know you said everything was dead, but...
Yeah, there's not really much of use here that you can see. It's all just been largely decomposed, presumably by that violet fungus.
Oh, okay. I'm going to take out my torch and set it on fire.
Okay.
Yeah, so you light this trash pile up, and a lot of the apples had been fermenting for like a long time that had been burning into the pile. So there's a lot of like alcohol kind of mixed in with the fruit, and it does go up. It goes up in a huge flame. You hear screeching noises as other funguses inside of it are all like burning away.
Sarah looks at Oolong and then looks at the fire and is like,
There's a huge column of black smoke just like lifting up to the sky.
maybe we should have gone to the trash pile first.
Gimlet's fine.
You're right. We have faith in him.
And then I'll head over to the guard tower.
Awesome. Okay. And so as Bubo approaches the guard shack, although there was not like a lot of reason for it, Grammy did keep 2 or 3 young men from nearby towns employed as guards. Totally above board.
Would you say it's a harem?
A harem? More to keep them out of trouble than anything else. And this room, or this little shack on the side of the building, is where they kept their equipment and took breaks during long night patrols. There are 3 quarterstaffs that have fallen to the floor from where they used to lean against a wall. There's a small table with 2 chairs, all of which have been just knocked over. And there is a locked chest sitting opposite the quarterstaffs in the guard hall. Everything is covered in heavy layers of dust and old cobwebs from long departed denizens as Bubo enters the guard shack.
So there's no life in here upon... Okay.
There's nothing alive in there per se.
I want to check out the quarterstaffs. Is there anything special about them? Is there anything magical in here?
Make an investigation or arcana check if you want to investigate the staffs or if you want to check for magic.
I don't really have proficiency in either, so let's go arcana. It's a 6.
This is one of the more mundane rooms that you have been in a long time. There is nothing that strikes you as overtly magical per se.
This chest, it's locked.
Yeah.
Can I check it out? See if there's anything that I can do?
Mm-hmm. Make a dexterity check if you want to try to pick it, or strength check if you're trying to break it.
I just want to examine the locking mechanism here. Like, is it a padlock or is it what's the layout here?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it's a typical padlock for sure.
I'd like to Eldritch Blast the lock.
All right. That's just you cast it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a cantrip, so I can cast it as many times as I want.
Yeah, go for it. What is it?
That's an 18 to hit the lock.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, that absolutely hits. And I'll just say that you
shoot it enough times till it explodes. Just like Baldur's Gate 3. Just keep firing until it opens.
Yeah, so you Baldur's Gate 3 the lock open with your cantrip, and it opens. And inside there are 3 bottles that are labeled shillelagh oil.
Oh.
And so they will work as if casting the spell shillelagh when rubbed on a club or a quarterstaff.
Wow, nice. Yeah. Okay.
I think at some point Sarah and Sarah and Oolong, hearing the blast, will start running towards. It's like, oh, there's a fight.
The multiple blasts.
Yeah, it's like 7 blasts. It's like, what's going on?
And then all the while this is happening in here, Bubo is just droning on to himself, talking to nobody.
This desk reminds you of the desk that you had at your first internship, and that's the same trash can that you had in your house with your first wife. And
after I get the 3 bottles of shillelagh oil, and I'll add those to my inventory, I go over to the spider webs and I start trying to look for spiders so I can talk to them.
Make an investigation check. And around this time, we're going to say that the rest of the group enters the guardhouse.
Sarah runs in. Is everything all right? Whoa. What a mundane room.
There is smoke coming up off of the lock in the corner of the open chest.
13 on investigation.
You don't find any spiders, just a bunch of old cobwebs and dust.
Oh, yeah, it's all right. I'm just coming in and I found this old chest here. There's nothing of value. I found 3 bottles in here, but I think they're just water.
Just water?
Yeah, don't even worry about it.
All right. I mean, I trust you. I'm glad you're all right.
Yeah, you should trust me. I'm very trustworthy.
Do I trust him?
Can I make an insight check on
How much do I trust him after he says that? 16.
Yeah, do
Insight.
your rolls, yo. How does Oolong enter the room?
Crouching down to fit through the door.
16.
I guess I should make a deception.
Yeah, you need to figure your stuff out.
11.
16 and 11.
15.
I think Daniel beats that, right?
Yeah.
So
Bubo,
Yep.
it seems you're hiding something from us.
No. Okay, it wasn't
as
water.
he turns, you can hear the bottles clinking in his bag.
Are you just carrying the bottles of water with you? We have water in the cart.
Pull one of them out.
Okay, there was 1 bottle. Here it is. It's a shillelagh oil.
Make a deception check.
I'm pretty sure 1 bottle wouldn't make that clinking sound.
That's an 8 on deception.
That's 11 plus something. So
I mean, everybody's passive perception is definitely going to know that that's yeah, so he's sweating a lot for an owl.
I'm fine. I just pull them all out. There's 3 bottles.
Yeah, it's shillelagh oil. You put it on your weapon and you're able to use your spellcasting modifier instead of your attack modifier.
Why did you lie to us about that?
Hey, do you know this reminds me of a time when I was a kid?
And so you guys do know where the recipe is located. And so while he is sort of going on about his past and being a child, is there a move you want to take here in terms of going to find the parts of the recipe?
Correct. The Dryads had notified us that the goblins have moved into the home of Grammy, but the recipe is split between the front office and the upstairs room as well. Is that correct?
That is correct.
I did grab a broom of flying on my way out of Tyndareus's room. That's not his name. What is his name again?
Tyndareus?
Tyndareus. Okay, Tyndareus is actually a ringing ear thing. Okay, Tyndareus's room. So I can fly up and check out any windows and see what's going on, but the Dryads recommended the loading dock specifically. Is that correct, Othian? Or not? God damn, I keep calling Othian.
Oolong, it's
Oolong,
okay, yes.
yeah.
I do think we should stick together this time, as there may be some danger that awaits. We were warned.
Yeah, I agree. I got attacked by a fungus.
Whoa, what happened there?
I had to blow everything up. You might have seen it.
Is that the smoke?
Yeah, I agree with Oolong.
Okay, so you're going to make your way to the loading docks to try to...
Shall we try to sneak in then? Get all down low? As low as you can go? I don't know how the rest of the song goes.
I don't think that's how any of that song
Okay.
goes.
Nope. Yeah, but as you all, for some reason, limbo on the way to the loading dock, you make your way there, and as you pull up the sliding wooden door in the back, it's kind of like a wooden garage door type deal. So it slides open into a room with bare stone floors and plain walls. There's nothing on them. An empty wagon stands abandoned in the room, gathering dust. You can see within the bakery, packing and shipping pallets that stand ready to be loaded onto the wagon. And as you watch, a patrol of goblins walks by, oblivious to your presence. I would like you all to make a stealth check.
Pass.
Pass?
Yeah.
16.
9.
13.
17, surprisingly.
All right, fantastic. So as the goblins come walking by, you all duck behind nearby. Actually, you all duck behind the wagon, we'll say, except for Vesper, who's standing around like, what's going on over here? And you just kind of pull him behind with you last second, so he's not seen either. And the goblins leave, and one of them, as they're walking through the room, they kind of stop and sniffs the air and pokes his buddy. He's like, hey, do you smell something funny? I don't think so. And they just walk off and they don't enter. They don't enter. You can see a few different pathways. There's a sign that points you to the office. There is a metal staircase that takes you upstairs to the apartment, and it says no employees, private property there, to kind of indicate that it's an apartment. And then there's also access to the bakery floor proper from here if you want to go in there.
All right.
And the shop.
Can you remind us where the two locations of the recipe were?
Absolutely.
Front office and apartment. I wrote it down.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Should we go to the office?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Works for me.
Uh-huh.
Works for me.
So you all make your way to the office, and this well-appointed room of sturdy mahogany furniture and velvet curtains contains 2 desks that are just covered in paper, and overturned chairs line or lay on the floor. What remains of the walls, or what you can see, they're kind of lined with bookshelves and filing cabinets. This was not a tidy person, presumably, or somebody has come in and ransacked it. The drawers had been pulled out of the cabinets, and it kind of smells a little like musty in here, like sort of goblins, like there's some sort of unsavory creatures that have probably been in the room at some point.
Smells like unsavory creatures in here.
You mean goblins? You can just say it. We're all thinking it.
Hey, I mean, I got a lot of friends that are goblins. I actually speak fluent goblin. Yeah.
Did you say goblin?
Yeah, they prefer goblin over goblin. Most of them. It's a cultural thing.
While they're having this conversation, can I close the door behind us so we don't get
Yes,
hurt?
absolutely.
Okay.
As soon as Bubo starts talking, you're like, absolutely not. And you just close the door.
I'd like to pick up a random piece of paper off the desk. What I pick up?
Okay, hold. Oh, that's the wrong page.
I hold the paper up to my face, like covering my eyes, and I look to everybody and say,
Hey, look, pay-per-view.
Okay, so the paper that you picked up was like a tax form that was actually dated for the year that the collide happened.
Oh.
This is pretty old. Here,
give it to
Gimlet.
Gimlet, yeah.
I'm gonna scan it really quickly and just be like, "Oh, I missed out on a lot of deductions."
Yeah, you clock pretty quickly that like there was some itemized things that she didn't write off that she should have. And,
I'd like to look at the bookcase and search for a book that says recipe.
Ooh, make a perception check or investigation.
11.
You do find a recipe book, but it is how to pair pie for dummies.
I'd like to look in the table of contents. I'm sorry, the index for apple pie.
Okay, you spend a good 20 minutes doing this, but you don't find a reference to apple pie in the pear cookbook.
I'd like to put the book back.
Are there drawers on these desks?
Yes.
I want to rifle through them and just look for anything of note.
Yeah, you're going to try to open the drawer. All right, so as you open the drawer, can you roll a D10 for me?
That's a bad sign, I think. 8.
As you open the drawer, you feel this odd like twinge in your throat as a needle fires out and hits you, and you take 9 points of poison damage. And I'm going to need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
I am resistant to poison damage.
Ooh.
Oh, I think that means you only take half then,
Yes.
right? So you'll take
You're not immune,
you'll take
yeah.
5.
Okay.
But then if you make the save, you'll take half of that.
Okay. What save was it? I'm sorry, I forgot.
A Constitution saving throw.
Big mistake, buddy. Fuck. 14.
You will be poisoned for the next hour.
Okay. How does that work if I'm resistant to poison?
I think it just poison. I think just gives you disadvantage on ability checks
And attack rolls. Yeah.
and attack rolls.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all it does. So your reckless attack will then become just a straight roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still worth it.
And as you open the drawer, it does contain half of the secret recipe torn on a torn old parchment scroll.
Yeah, I found part of it.
You found like the bottom half, we'll say, like the last few steps.
It says remove from oven, so I think this might be the end of it.
Oh.
Anybody else see that dart hit me in the throat? You guys are just standing around like this is normal.
Better you than us.
Oh, that's wow.
Since you're resistant, I'm saying.
All right. It felt targeted at first when you said it, but I get what you're saying now. That makes sense. Do you have any tea that might help with this pain I'm feeling now?
Just to treat the symptoms, but yes, for the pain. Yes, that's a symptom.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yes. I need to brew it. It'll take a moment.
I got time.
Okay.
Is there any like fireplace in here?
We're going to say that there's a fantasy version of a hot plate and a kettle like sitting on the desk because Grammy used to make tea for herself and she'd spend long nights avoiding doing her taxes until the last minute.
I have brewer's supplies as well.
Oh, fantastic. So you just
Yes.
need the hot plate then. All right. Yeah. So you have a hot plate. You can spend 5 minutes making a tea for him.
Is there anything else of interest?
I mean, a lot of the papers seem to have been like rifled through. There's not a lot of value in the office per se. The big ticket item here would have been the recipe there. That being said, there is in the other drawers, you do find like a silver signet ring, and you clock that the curtains are in pretty good fucking shape considering it's been a while since anyone's been in here. You could probably sell those for some money if you wanted them.
I ripped down the curtains.
So you leave the signet ring in the drawer and you rip the curtains off.
Hey, these curtains look pretty good. I got a guy. I can probably get some pretty good cash for these. You guys want in?
You tear them down and sunlight just floods into the room for the first time in years and years and years. Just dust through the air. You can see like God rays of light just shining through the window, but you have 2 large curtains for your bag.
Great. I fold them up as small as I can make them and stuff them in my bag.
I would like to gather any of her recipes and document them for myself if there's anything available. And then does this window open up to the outside or do we have to go backtrack through the loading dock?
I mean, you're on the 2nd floor, so it is outside. You'd have to make like an athletics or acrobatics if you're trying to jump down.
Well, I have a broom of flying that I've gotten.
Oh,
from
fuck.
the-
Yeah. Okay,
So I'm
yeah.
going to fly out and then head up to the apartment building and kind of just get like a...
Oh, no, we are
bird-
on the 1st floor. So yeah. Either way. Okay. Yeah. So you're going to head out the window.
Yeah, and just kind of get a bird's eye view to see what's going on in the apartment building. And if there's like if I can see the latter half of the recipe book.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I'd like to use my wings and follow him.
Okay, so before you two book it out the window, Oolong, you were about to say something.
Tea is done.
They're like halfway through the window when you're like, tea's done.
Oh, well, I guess we have to stop for tea, so we stop and then
Oh,
I
I
come
only
back.
made enough for one.
Oh, okay. Well then.
Dibs.
So you all like wait and watch Vesper have his tea, and then you fly up to the second floor.
Delicious. I gotta say, that's really good.
Absolutely. I'm glad you're not allergic to honey or nutmeg.
It's a close one.
I feel like that's something you should check for first before handing them a drink.
I always know someone who's allergic to nutmeg. I can see it in their pupils.
I mean, he's right. I'm allergic to cinnamon, so
Okay.
Okay, so I kind of want to do something funny with you two who have flown up to kind of try to look into the window.
Sure, man.
As you fly up to look in, unfortunately, there is a curtain over most of the window here. So there's a hole where you can see in, and you can see everything, but you two are going to have to like fight over who can actually see in order to describe things. And I'm going to send you both the details of the room, and I want you to like try to fight over control of describing the thing, like thoughtfully. Don't like scream, but I just think it would be funny to watch you two try to figure out what's in the room against one another, if you're into that.
Oh, all right. It seems I see some kind of old
Hey,
mahogany.
no. Your room is in.
Roll for initiative,
jeez.
nerds.
Oh, that's gross. 7. I lose.
I got double that, 14.
Okay, great. Yeah, so you're first. You get your head against the window first. You get to pick a thing to
Oh,
describe.
look, yeah, it looks like there's some ancient, real old mahogany furniture in there. It looks good. It's still standing.
Feeling slightly disrespected, I like use conjure flame on his wings to set him up a little bit. Just get the fuck out of my way.
Ah, son of a bitch!
And I looked through. I was like, okay, it looks like this heavy for the goblins. It's too heavy for the goblins of the moon. A bed, missing a mattress standing in one corner. Maybe a wardrobe.
I cast Magic Stone. Hit him in the head with a stone.
Oh, jeez. Okay, what is it? Hit me, I guess. How much does that do? Hold on.
Oh, I didn't want to do damage. I just wanted
It
to.
has to do damage, man.
Well, you use Conjure Flame.
Yeah, that does do damage too. You're right. I should burn your ass.
Yeah.
You take 3 damage.
3. Okay.
3 fire damage.
That is 5 damage.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh my
Hit you in the
God.
head.
Conk.
do we see this all going on?
Yeah, I'm assuming you two look out the window and you're seeing this.
Wait, what was the thing you described? I'm sorry.
Oh, yes. I described that it seems like the furniture you described was too heavy for the goblins
Got
to
it.
move, and there's a bed missing a mattress standing in one corner.
Got it.
oddly enough.
Oh, there's a wardrobe. You can see it's got some weapons. They look crude. Pretty old. Looking over in the opposite corner there.
Yeah, you want to take the last
Yeah,
one?
I
now?
just like fly under you with the broom and just like push you out of the way and just read the rest of it. And it just like looks like against one wall is a desk covered in animal pelts and hunting trophies. And then we fall.
The other thing that you notice is that there are some goblins in the room as well. There are 2 goblins and a bigger sort of leader type figure that's standing in the middle of the room, and they're watching the door.
I will head back down and update our poison friend and our tea brewer on the situation and give the signal of like breach and enter from above because there's like a window, right? So we can fly him up and just throw him through the window as a possible option.
I'm going to go back and get the signet ring.
Okay. Great. So you have a signet ring now as well.
I couldn't get my mind off of it.
Fair beans. Fair beans. So yeah, you fly back down while he's looking at the goblins in the room, and then you all come back to sort of share the skinny on the situation. So basically, the last room you have to go into, there's 3 goblins waiting for you. They're definitely not expecting a window entry.
Yeah, basically, we can't go in the door. They'll know we're coming. There's like 3 guys, goblins. I could probably make friends with them, but I know you probably wouldn't. So I think we should go in the window, catch them by surprise.
What if we draw them out?
That's not a bad idea. Yeah. Hey, your tea's pretty good, right?
Well, only the finest.
Yeah. Goblins don't like traditional stuff, though. They like weird stuff.
Don't imply that I don't know how to make a tea for a goblin.
How would you make a tea for a
sorry.
coffee?
I don't know your history. I just assume. My apologies.
How quickly could you brew up a batch for him?
That's the problem. Goblin tea takes a long time.
Yeah, like I said, they like weird stuff.
Plus, we would have to deal with all the ones within the building as well. And at least from what we could tell, that room was blocked off from the rest of them. So it would make an easier engagement if we had to do so.
Is there any way of going in from above? Could we break through the ceiling in the room?
It would be very tough with the roof structure. It's like old and dilapidated, but the roof's not in that bad of a shape. Like they would absolutely notice you coming in through the roof.
Okay.
That would probably guarantee a violent situation, actually.
Okay, that's a bad idea.
What about the bakery? What if we turned on the conveyor belt?
Oh.
To distract them, you mean?
Well, of course, they'd have to investigate.
Wait a minute. You said you started a fire and smoke billowed up, right?
Yeah.
What if we did that on a bigger scale?
Yeah, I'll set this whole damn place on fire. I don't care.
Wait, the recipe. It's flammable.
Well, the recipe's in the office. We just light the bakery on fire, bing, bang, boom. They're gone, and we got a recipe.
Yeah, I brought dynamite in with me. You I'll blow anything up.
I mean, that's literally the definition of bing, bang, boom. Like, that's it. I feel like that's the solution.
All right, is this the move we're taking? Do you guys want to go to investigate the bakery and set up some dynamite?
I like the idea of a distraction, I will say. If we turn on some of the equipment, they got to go check it out. Maybe I also set a little fire in the corner. Maybe 2 distractions is okay.
Yeah, two is better than one sometimes.
2 is better than 1, honestly.
2 is better than 1.
2 is better than 1.
2's better than 1. I already said that. I don't know why I'm saying it again. All right, let's go
Because
do
you have
this.
to say it twice, because 2 is better than 1.
That 2 is better than 1.
All right, we go set the explosives.
Yeah, so as you are all just repeating to yourselves that 2 is better than 1 to really psych yourselves up for the situation, you walk into the bakery. And the bakery floor is a wide open space with really high ceilings. There's exposed wooden beams everywhere. It's in great shape in here considering how dilapidated everything else is. There are 2 stone rooms that stand to one side, and they have heavy barred doors that are keeping them closed. And between them, there's a small glass cabinet that's just got a cute, teeny little hammer hanging on a chain. 6 long workbenches fill the center of the room, covered with pie tins and rolling pins and other baking equipment. It seems to have been arranged in some kind of like conveyor belt scenario. So parts of the table would work on parts of the recipe and then shift it down so that the next set of what end up being some enchanted equipment can do their work. And you see rolling pins, knives, mixers, all kinds of baking equipment scattered across the tables. Some of the rolling pins are still rolling kind of lazily back and forth. There seems to be some kind of enchantment that keeps these in motion. Dull knives keep chopping at apples that haven't been there in years. And on the other side are 6 massive ovens, and their doors are still opening periodically, as if remembering that they're supposed to let a pie out every once in a while. Tall chimneys rise from each oven to pierce the ceiling overhead, and the whole area is not the work of a professional baker. Somebody made a fucking mess in here. There's flour, there's like old eggs, congealed butter. It's not a good situation. It looks like somebody has tried and failed many, many, many times to teach themselves to make pie.
Really quickly, can I read the first half of the recipe?
You mean the bottom half of the recipe?
The bottom half of the recipe, yes.
The bottom half of the recipe is just steps to let it chill in the chiller for a period of time and then rest on the counter, cover it in a certain way with a piece of fabric, and then like baking temperature and how often to like turn it in the oven and stuff like that.
Okay, useless. I hand it back to Gimlet and I said, give me the charges and I'll go set them on the roof.
Really quickly, I'd like to examine the glass case with the tiny hammer.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
Sort of like a fire extinguisher.
Right, yeah. So you walk up to the glass cabinet and there is not a door on it, but inside it appears to contain 2 regular healing potions that are sitting on a shelf.
Well, if we break the glass quietly enough, I should see why this could only help us.
Do you think it'll set off some kind of alarm?
You can make an investigation check on that.
You said it seems to contain 2 healing potions.
Well, there's nothing like subversive. I should say it contains 2 regular healing potions.
Okay.
15.
A 15 is not trapped or anything. There's nothing suspicious going on. It does seem to be like a break in case of like knife gone wrong or something.
Hey, Gimlet, come over here. Look at this knife that's just going. You should put your hand under there. Just see what happens.
Oolong, what are you doing with the case?
I'd like to break it.
Okay, so
You think I never been involved in a knife factory making accident?
Yeah, I thought you'd be the most experienced.
And so in the background of these two having a discussion about the unwillingness to put your hands underneath the magical knives, we see Oolong in the background, and he just like his big hulking form leans down and takes the little tiny hammer super gently and just dink and taps the top of the glass, and it is instantly covered in a spider web of cracks and fractures, and all of the glass falls away and disappears before it hits the ground, and you can now safely take the potions.
Very cool.
1 for me and 2 for me, because 2 is better than 1.
Go ahead and take inspiration for that. The other thing that you kind of notice is that the like stone rooms seem to be some kind of like magical cooling situation to keep ingredients chill over in that room, and they still seem to be active.
So is this room just for making the pies? And if we gather all the ingredients, we could recreate a pie here.
To be clear, your mission was to get him the recipe, not just
All right,
bring
never
it.
mind. Fuck that shit. I'm going to continue setting charges.
Seems dangerous to make the pie here with all the goblins running around.
You're right. All right, here's the wires to blow it up, and I set up a pseudo bonfire that I've learned from my dear friend Phantom Bandit, and I give you the stick. Here you go, Vespa. You pull the trigger.
Wait, I think we should get out of the building first.
Yeah, I feel like you guys need to like make a plan here. Oolong, were you going to say something?
The 2 of you can fly, so when what I can do, I can stand outside and use my sling, and I can break the window with the sling, so that when they leave, I can break the window. You 2 can fly up and fly right in. Gimlet, I don't know what you and I will do after that happens, but
I reckon I'm going to clothesline some goblins as they try to run away.
That's a great idea.
That's actually, you know what? That's a really good idea.
You should ask Mac to help you out with that.
The tree?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll,
Hey, do you think the dryads would want to get on it?
maybe I didn't talk to him.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Neither did I. I just knew they were there. I don't. Hey, do you think the dryads, talking to Sara Lee over here, dryads, do you think they want to get in on it?
No, I don't think so. They seem like they were enjoying their biscuit.
Oh.
All right, hey, before you 2 go up there, Oolong, take this poison. Just in case. It looks like a healing potion, so don't get it mixed up. But if you need to...
I never mix up my liquids.
Perfect. They look the same to me, but I trust that you can tell the difference. I'm gonna give him a potion of poison.
Excellent. Okay.
And then Sara Lee's going to shillelagh her dagger.
Right on. Okay, so Sara Lee's shillelagh'd her dagger to use her spell attack modifier. Oolong, any prep you want to do before we set things off here?
I'd like to put on my gauntlet.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm preparing for battle.
Heck yeah.
I hate to do it, but I have to.
Hey, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. That's what I always say.
So if the gauntlets aren't on all the time, like how does Oolong carry them around? Like is there a special bag that they're in, or is it just like thrown in the bottom of the sack, or are they clipped to his belt?
I wear them around my neck like boxing gloves. They've been visible the whole time.
Like an action sequence of people getting ready. He like pulls the gloves off of his head or off of around of his neck, sort of puts them on each hand, cut to him just sort of like lacing them in. Yeah, you're ready to roll. Right on. Bubo, any prep you're going to do before...
Are we outside right now?
You were in the bakery, right?
I mean, I'll let you guys sort of have like range of motion to get yourselves in place and say when you're going to kick it off.
I'm going to go back over to the knife that's chopping.
No, seriously, Gimlet, like, I'll bet you 10 gold you can put your hand down here and not get any fingers chopped off. 10 gold on the table.
As he's doing this, I'm setting up the charges with the dynamite. He's like, yeah, okay, tough guy. Why don't you put your hand under there? You think it's so easy.
I don't have hands, I got wings.
All right, exactly.
Okay, yeah. I knew you didn't have it in you. Okay.
I'm gonna lift up the side of my armor to reveal a 10-inch gash along the side of my body and just say, you want to talk about getting stabbed? You want to talk about knives?
Yeah, so Oolong tea, huh? Pretty cool stuff.
That's what I thought.
You want to hear more about tea?
No, not really. I was just trying to change the subject.
I say talk about it the cup you made me was delicious. I'll be honest, I never really enjoyed this stuff, but that was top notch.
Yes, and as a matter of fact, it was just green tea with honey and nutmeg in it. There was actually no side effect for healing the pain. That's actually it was placebo effect the entire time.
You don't say.
Yes.
That's incredible.
An anti-pain tea is an incredibly complex concoction. I didn't bring any of the ingredients with me. I don't have those in my inventory pack.
Wow.
It was Lipton with honey and nutmeg.
That's like a master class on deception, sir. Man, you can market that stuff.
I gotta tell you, I had you pegged one way. I was like, yeah, this is an honest guy. He would never deceive any of us. And then you're over here doing it for good, though. You know, wow.
If you ever thought about going into business, you let me know. I got connections.
Don't listen to him. All his connections are dead.
No.
Oh, Jesus.
Only a couple are.
Let me see if I understand the way that you want to get things ready to go. So we're going to have Gimlet and we're going to have Oolong ready to jump the goblins as they get out, and you've both kind of kitted up for that. And then we are going to have, or Oolong, are you going to throw the rock to break the window first before you run back inside?
Yes, I have to be outside.
That makes sense. Okay, cool. So you're kitted up. You've got your rock ready to throw or sling at the window. And then our two flying friends are ready to go through the window once the dynamite blast is set off. Take me through it, and I will stop you periodically to have you make your checks.
All right. Really quickly before everything started, Sara Lee is going to go ahead and use Find Familiar to create an owl to help look for the recipe during the ongoing combat, because it's about to get lit.
You're going to summon an owl, and that's what's going to act on your turn to do your searching in the room?
Yeah,
Okay.
just as a separate action. Yeah.
How does she summon the owl? What is it like?
She cuts herself.
Jesus.
She's a blood mage, so it conjures from her blood.
Oh, okay.
And it just seeps out, and you see this red owl.
You and the blood-driven things in the one shot.
It also comes out of some of her pies, too, when you're not paying attention.
Oh, God. Okay, great. Yeah, so you create a blood owl.
Yep.
Great. It looks like just a normal owl, except for its eyes are just red water. So I believe we're going to start with the explosion. Gimlet, talk me through the layout. What are you looking to do with the explosion?
Yeah, so I clocked the two stone chiller rooms, and I noticed there's a lot going on in there. It feels like people are using these still.
Mm-hmm. There's spices on the shelf. They've clearly been trying to keep up some ingredients for their pie experiments.
Oh, please save me the nutmeg real quick.
All right, so I'm going to grab the nutmeg. I'm going to put it in my sack really quickly.
Yeah, you get a half full container of nutmeg.
I'm gonna go, hey, Oolong, they got some other stuff up here. You interested in any other?
Just the nutmeg.
Just the nutmeg. Okay, I'm gonna double check, make sure there's not another nutmeg. I'm gonna grab this one for myself. This is a Lowry's seasoning salt. We'll put that in there. And then I'm going to set up the charges. I'd like to get both rooms. I don't know how close they are, though.
Yeah, they're right next to each other.
Okay. I'm just going to right in the middle of both rooms. I'm trying to blow up some of these goods and really raise some panic in these goblins, make them notice that some of their stuff's getting messed up.
So, yeah, I'm envisioning this as you're kind of putting bits of dynamite in between their little spice containers themselves along the shelves and lining it all up. And you've got a wire running out into the bakery, so you're a good, safe distance away. So what we're going to do is we're going to have you set off the explosives, and I'm going to have you roll some D6 for that really quick. How much dynamite do you have?
I have one bundle.
Okay.
I don't know, 6.
We're not trying to blow the structure up.
Right.
We're just trying to cause a ruckus.
I was trying to blow the structure up. I was saying it very strategic beams.
Let me tell you something here. If you're using all of those, you're gonna be rolling 18d6.
Oh,
for
God.
damage.
All right. Then let's just go with 2. I'll just use 2 of them, one for each room.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
Near
so
each
you'll
room.
roll 66 for damage.
66. Oh, for damn. Oh, wow.
Well, there's not going to be a
wow.
dexterity saving throw for the spice cabinet here.
16.
There is a cloud of, it smells like gunpowder burning, but then also cinnamon and saffron and sugar and flour
Some
and
Mrs.
cumin
Dash.
and it is just it's a mess. It fills the entire bakery with a cloud, a puff of spices. You can hear a crunch with the boom as part of the stone walls are cracked and fractured against the back of it, and It is a raucous sound. It shakes the entire building. You hear goblins from other parts of the property be like, "What was that?" And then you hear footsteps running upstairs in the apartment nearby. Let's cut to outside. Oolong, you are prepared with your sling to break the window open. You have just heard the not so muffled boom, and you see a bunch of like dust rise off of the bakery as you're standing outside. That is your signal. What do you do?
I load the largest rock, because I've collected several, and I put it in my sling, swing it around my head 1, 2 times, because 2 is better than 1, and launch it toward the window.
Roll for attack.
My sling hits at 18.
Oh, yeah, absolutely it hits. I'm not going to make you roll for damage because it's a glass window, but you shatter this window. All right, our flying friends, you are cleared to go into the room.
Are there any goblins left in there? Like before I just fly in, I want to.
Yeah, you're going to be looking.
Check.
Okay. Yeah, there is one goblin in the room.
Is it the big guy?
Yes, it's the bigger goblin. He heard the crash of the glass as he was going out the door. He let his 2 henchmen go out first. And so he's still in the room. You can kind of see him looking curiously at the window, but you haven't made yourself visible to him yet.
I'm going to say to Sara Lee,
Get ready for trouble. I'll hit in first and see if I can calm him down before you follow in.
I have a pie ready to throw.
Okay, yeah, goblins notoriously hate having pies thrown in their face.
Everybody roll for initiative. And then Oolong, I'm assuming you ran inside after you threw the rock, right?
Correct.
15.
Okay.
For Sara Lee.
3 again.
13.
I got dirty 20.
Okay. At the top of the initiative order is Bubo. Bubo, you have the advantage on this goblin leader. He seems to be very confused about which direction to look in at all.
Am I close enough to fly into the room?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Like, I'm assuming you were like just under the window, kind of peeking over with your eyes just to see what was going on. So I'm going to let you be in the room.
In the room, I see this goblin standing there. I'm not even trying to hide. I'm just going to come out and say, hey, Mr. Goblin. I'm going to speak to him in his native tongue because I speak Goblin. And I'm going to cast Suggestion.
Excellent. Read us the wording on suggestion.
You suggest a course of activity, a sentence or two, and magically influence a creature that you can see within range that can hear and understand you. Creatures that can't be charmed or immune. The suggestion must be worded in a manner as to make the course of action sound reasonable. Asking the creature to stab itself, throw itself onto a spear, or whatever ends the spell. You can't do that. But you need to make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, it pursues the course of action to the best of its ability.
Okay, what is that wisdom saving throw?
13.
He rolled a 15.
Damn.
So what was your suggestion going to be, though?
I was going to suggest,
Hey, Mr. Goblin, you should go, there's a dwarf out there. He needs your help. You should go ask him if he needs any help and do whatever you can to help him.
Hey, we're the squatters here. You get out. What do you know intruders? We intruded here first.
He looks pretty mad at you.
that was my action.
And I'm going to say that he's like 15 feet away from you, just for
Mhm.
your brain in sort of thinking through the mechanics of it.
I guess for the rest of it, I'm just going to say,
Hey, I don't know. Don't go anywhere.
I wasn't going to. You okay?
okay, that's it.
And we'll cut to our 2 goblin friends who are running down the stairs, who are next in the initiative order, and they're going to make a perception check in this with disadvantage, because while they have dark vision, the room is just full of all of the secret herbs and spices. So
Minus nutmeg.
okay, well, one of them does pretty okay. Okay, one of them clocks the shadowy figure of Oolong kind of running into the room, but otherwise doesn't see Gimlet in the corner, hiding presumably from the explosion. And he is going to use his full movement speed. He's going to kind of run across the room to Oolong as he comes in. And he's just going to yell like,
I don't know what you're doing here, but we were here first.
and he is going to swing at you with his scimitar.
What language are they speaking?
They're speaking common.
They understand your language. You don't have to patronize them with
retcon. No,
goblin.
retcon. Actually, no. All you hear is, and then he swings a weapon at you, and he super whiffs. He swings at you, but like a spice gets in his eye, and he just starts sneezing violently, and he misses you by a mile. And the other one just sort of like is dazed and doesn't see anything and looks around confused. And they are just continuing to cast about in the herbs and in the air. And up next in the initiative order is Sara Lee and her blood owl.
All right, I'm going to send the blood owl in first.
Okay.
And have it look for the recipe, the first half. As an owl, it does have advantage on perception checks.
Okay.
Yeah. Is it all right if I make a perception check with that first?
Yes. Let me look at one thing about the room really quickly so that I can answer this thoughtfully.
Sounds good.
So go ahead, and you said she's making a perception check?
Yeah, the owl is. Yeah.
Okay, great.
So that's a 19.
A 19. With a 19, the owl reports back to you that there's the most interesting thing in this room appears to be that one of the desks is locked and seems to be similarly trapped to the one that you ran into earlier, that you got the poison dart from into Gimlet's throat.
Sara Lee, hearing that the desk has a poison dart, I'm assuming the big goblin isn't standing anywhere near the desk, right?
No, the big goblin is by the door.
Okay. She's going to fly back and just like chuck her pie, throw into it, and then she's going to cast a spell, and then bursting out of the pie is like a second level magic missile of blood flying at him. Yeah, so this is going to be 4d4 plus 4.
Fantastic.
Classic slapstick stuff here, guys.
It's going to stain the carpets.
Oh, it's going to stain everywhere. That's 15. Just boosh, and it bursts out of the Boston cream pie.
Yeah, he's like excited. So this goblin like sees the pie coming towards his face. He's like, "Oh, I love pie!" Like that's sort of the face he's got on. Like,
wait, hold on. I thought goblins hated pie. That's why I went this route.
They hate getting hit in the face with
Oh,
pie.
okay, yeah.
But then he sees eating it. They love eating it. They hate getting hit in the face with it. So he sees it coming towards him, like, ah, and then really mad and sad about it. And then it turns into the bloody magic missile. It's like, it looks like it's gonna be sick. And then you take like one of his ears off. You do a lot of damage to his arm. You take a big chunk out of his side. You just decimate him. It's hard to tell what's magic missile blood and what's his.
Okay, and then I fly like 50 feet back just to kind of give myself a little bit of distance.
Yeah, he's looking rough.
Oh, so he's not dead.
He's
Okay.
not dead, but he's like, you, in the space of 12 seconds, blew up their house. You broke open a window, flooded an area with clouds and spices, and then scared the shit out of this guy and then tore his body apart. Fantastic. All right. Up next in the initiative order is Oolong.
Well, I have my gauntlets on my hands, which give me strength of 19. I'm going to go punch some goblins.
Yes. Make an unarmed strike. And don't forget you have advantage for one of your rolls with your inspiration.
13.
Okay, a 13. Unfortunately, you go to swing at him with your gloves, and the goblin kind of clocks you coming through the dust now that he missed at you, and he just ducks underneath your arm as you swing at him. Okay, up next, do you want to do any movement or anything, or do you have a bonus action you want to do? Bonus actions are a specific set in there.
Yes, I ask you to toss me the nutmeg. Can I do that? That's kind of his action, but it's a very minor
Yeah, I'll
action.
allow him to toss you some nutmeg.
Okay. He tosses me the nutmeg. I open it and I snort some of it like a sniffing salt and just scream.
Do you want to use your inspiration on the attack and re-roll it? You can, based off the nutmeg.
Yeah, honestly, even as the DM, I'm just going to say re-roll that attack with advantage. Let's see if you hit the second time.
Yeah, just make another 1d6. Yeah, just roll it and add a 6.
19.
That absolutely hits. So you snort some nutmeg. You rage out on this person. And roll for damage.
7.
Oolong, call your shot. How do you take down this goblin?
On your nutmeg-filled rage.
On my nutmeg-filled rage, I grab him by the throat with my goblets. I pick him up, I raise him up, and I throw him onto the table, grab one of the rolling pins, and just flatten him back and forth, back and forth.
Oh,
back
man,
and
not
forth.
so gentle Oolong anymore.
As you slam him onto the table, the other goblin finally sees that you're there through the cloud and dust, and like it realizes what you're doing, and it's just instantly horrified. Absolutely brutal stuff. Fantastic work. Alrighty, so up next in the initiative, we have the goblin leader who is looking and feeling real bad right now. At the start of his turn, he is going to make a reckless attack to give himself advantage as he tries to attack. And he pulls a battle axe off of his back. And right now, the only person I think in the room is
Bubo.
Bubo, right?
Yeah, Bubo.
Okay. All right, Bubo, you're gonna take some hits, my dude. He's going to swing at you with advantage, just sort of as a desperation move because he's feeling really terrible. He's just got like the one arm working on his axe now, so he needs that advantage. Oh God. Does a 14 hit?
My AC is 14, so that just hits.
Absolutely. This is terrible. He's in a bad place right now. All right, 7 damage.
Ugh.
So he gets you in the shoulder, like just behind where one of your wings connects to your body.
Ouch.
Oof.
I don't know what your problem is, but we were here first. Get out.
And then we are back up at the top of the initiative with Bubo. Oh, wait. No, wait. I'm sorry, Gimlet. I didn't let you go, did I?
No, I haven't gone.
Gimlet's up first.
Do we know roughly how far away I am from Oolong and the not flattened goblin?
Yeah, I'm going to say that you're comfortably within like 20 or so feet of them.
Perfect. So I'm going to advance and close the gap, 25 feet of movement speed, and just take a swing at the other goblin with the maul.
Right.
You know your boy's going to reckless attack.
Heck yeah. Yeah, if I wouldn't expect anything
So I
less.
think that
You
just
are-
negates the disadvantage.
Are
Yeah.
you still poisoned or no?
Yeah,
I am. However, I just read, and I'm not trying to like retcon anything, that I have advantage on like saving throws against poison that I don't think I used earlier. So, but yes, I am poisoned.
Roll again real quick. We'll see what happens for your poison check. It was a DC 15 Constitution.
I think I still fail. Yeah, 14. So I would have failed regardless. So I'll use reckless attack though, which I think just negates the disadvantage. So straight roll.
Yep.
Fuck, that's a 9.
Yeah, that's not going to make it. So some of the dust also gets into your eyes a little bit, and tears cloud your vision, and you swing just a little wide of the goblin.
Okay, I'm going to use a bonus action to rage.
He just gets pissed off at the goblin for missing.
Does he just does he like how does he go into a rage? What's the move?
He's pissed off that he missed this goblin. So he just starts swearing up a storm.
Hell yeah.
These fucking goblins, I swear to God, I gotta deal with my teammates being nice to spiders and now this bullshit.
Fantastic. Okay. Bubo, after a few moments, you hear the swears of Gimlet downstairs about something as you see, as the clouds start to kind of waft into the room. Not as heavily as in the bakery, but you're up, and you do still have the goblin leader in the room with you and the blood owl.
I'm going to look at him and say, the last time that I saw somebody swing an axe like that, it was my niece, and she's only 1 year old. That was pathetic.
It seems really irresponsible to give your 1-year-old niece an axe.
Well, it's irresponsible to give someone like you an axe, you baby.
And then I'm going to cast Dissonant Whispers. And as I am talking to him, my voice goes a little bit lower into like a whisper. And you need to make a wisdom saving throw. And I'm just going to say to it,
Your life is worthless. Nothing about you has any meaning at all. You don't belong here. You don't belong anywhere.
What's the save on that?
it's 13 again.
Okay, that was a 15.
God damn it. Stop it. Stop succeeding on my things.
As you talk shit to this guy, he's like,
You sound a lot like my dad right now, and I killed him.
Your dad was probably just as weak as my niece then.
do you have anything else you want to do on your turn?
I'm just going to start telling him a story about my childhood. And that's it.
Fantastic. So you start regaling him with when you were your niece's age.
Yes.
And then up next in the initiative is our one remaining goblin nerd. He is going to attack at... Did you move, Oolong, from your last turn? You stayed in the same spot, right? Okay, so he's going to swing at you again. Does an 18 hit?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So he's going to swing at you with his scimitar again, and he is going to take a whack at you just for 3 points of damage.
Oh, hold on. I have a reaction, though.
Ooh.
Stone's Endurance. When you take damage, you can use your reaction to reduce the damage taken by 1d12 plus 0.
Oh, shit. Okay.
1.
Right on. He swings at you, and you like literally turn the other cheek, and he just kind of hits you in the butt. Does slightly less damage. So up next in the initiative is Sara Lee.
How's the goblin look that's next to Booba?
Same as when you last left it.
Yeah, there's no one's hit it yet.
Does it look rough or anything yet?
Wait, did you do damage to it? And
He blood missiled it.
I blood
Yeah,
missile.
Oh,
pie.
I thought you were talking about the one downstairs. I'm sorry. No, yeah, he's looking super bad.
Super bad? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and just fly into him with 50 feet of flying movement. Is that enough to catch up to him? Yeah. I want to make sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and just like stick my hand on his face that I had cut into earlier for like summoning my owl. And I'm going to burning hands his face. Make a dex save. 14.
Watch him roll a 15.
God, yeah.
I mean,
this goblin chief's been doing pretty all right.
Yeah, he's hot shit.
He's also dexterous as fuck, so that's a natural 20.
Jesus. Okay, he takes half
Wow.
damage still.
You go to like smash your hand into his face. He's like, "Arr!" And
Oh, on a successful save on my Dissonant Whispers, you take half damage.
oh, how much damage would that be?
I missed that. I didn't read all the way through the spell. I'm sorry.
Fucking
Yeah, no
read
worries.
your
Yeah,
shit,
let's-
man.
I'm
What the
sorry.
hell's wrong with you? God, I thought you were a DM. I thought you DM'd for 5 years.
I'm sorry. 14, 7.
Bubo, call your shot.
Wait, so you just killed him earlier? All right, so I like flying in. He's already dead.
Yeah, we'll come back to your entry into the room.
Okay, good.
Oh, I feel like it would be cool if these two things happen simultaneously. Like he's getting whispers and then gets burned in the face. Unless you want to redo your move.
I
don't
just
know.
thought he might want to use it for something else.
No. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab your head and just smash your head into his.
Excellent.
Good.
Yeah, call your shot.
I just gonna say to him,
It's time for you to go to sleep. There's no place for you in this world anymore.
and then my head gets grabbed and smashed into his head, and he falls to the ground.
Right before your head makes contact with his, you see his eyes drop for a second. He's like, "You're right," and then you just destroy his head. He falls dead to the ground. You've finished off the goblin leader. All that remains now is our one goblin downstairs. And Sara Lee, you said you did take your turn to do that action. So
May I use my owl to open up the little like drawer so it can just get shot by the poison?
can it open a drawer? Can it like
I mean, if owls can, sure, why not? I don't know. You can make a sleight of hand.
make a sleight of hand check
Sure.
for your owl. Let's see how.
Is there any way I'd know that they're trying to open the drawer upstairs?
No.
14.
You know they're trying to get something up there, but you don't know if it's going to be in a drawer.
That's enough. I'm going to shout out,
Hey, in case it's another poison drawer, you better protect your neck.
Okay. Got it.
So Sara Lee covers her neck and then turns the owl loose on the drawer. What was it score again?
14.
14. Okay, cool. Yeah, so the owl does manage to get the drawer open, and it takes a spike to the throat.
Dies instantly.
Dies instantly. It just like slow, painful death.
Just
on the floor.
blood. It just turns back into blood and is mixed with the poison.
does it go back into your body?
No, once blood's out, it doesn't come back in.
You got to stay hydrated then.
I try to drink a lot of water and eat a lot of iron. I eat a lot of steak for dinner.
Cut back from the conversation that you were having prior to the adventure about how blood magic worked. Up next in the initiative is Oolong.
Still in a rage, I take the nutmeg, snort some more in my nose, and I go to attack the second goblin.
Roll for attack.
19.
Absolutely, that hits.
Here we go.
8.
Call your shot.
This is bad. I take him and I go over to the other table, not the one with the rolling pins, but the one with the knives. Still chopping like these imaginary apples. I imagine them all in a row, and I just start sliding his body, holding his feet clenched in my gauntlets. No, he says. I don't know if I'm allowed to do the other voices.
Absolutely, you are. Absolutely, you are.
But the knives are too dull. They're not getting the job done. So then I take him and I put him in the oven. And close it shut. The oven tries to open, signaling that the pie is done. But I don't let it open.
That's not what the signal was.
You trigger a sort of auto reheat mechanism on the oven, and it just goes full blast again.
And that is it.
You incinerate this goblin after trying to use the dull knives to cut his body up. The goblin pie is done. The bell dings. You are all out of initiative order.
Can I take one more action?
Yes.
I'd like to snort some of my Lowry's seasoned salt. Just because I saw Oolong do it, and I was like, that was pretty cool, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Spice Brothers.
All right, so the Spice Boys have cleaned up downstairs, and we have also defeated the chief, and the owl has given its life to open the drawer upstairs. You have absolutely made sure no one will ever bake in this bakery again. What do you do next?
Sarah's going to go ahead and grab the other half of the recipe, read it, and then set the place ablaze.
Before you do that, can I, the knife, can I take it?
Oh, one of the magical
knife,
knives? Yeah, absolutely. You can grab one.
All right.
I'd like to rip down the curtains.
Fantastic. Yeah, so you gear up with dull knives and old curtains.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, again, sunlight floods into her apartment for the first time in years. It illuminates all of her very heavy mahogany furniture. There's also a small spell book in the drawer where you find the top half of the recipe. It's a notebook for some spells that old Grammy knew. If anybody wants to have these on the characters for future adventures, who can spellcast. There's Druidcraft, Entangle, Purify Food and Drink, and Speak with Plants that you're able to copy down.
Adria knows all those.
All right. And I do not know any of those. So I'll
Fantastic.
Take those.
Cool. Great. Yeah, you grab old Grammy's notebook.
Thank you, Grammy. I will send you off in a Viking's funeral.
Isn't she already dead?
Wait, is her body here?
No, she disappeared.
No.
The rumor was that she disappeared around the time that the collide happened.
A rumor, huh? Maybe there's more to it.
Next time on Brunch Force 2.
How long has it been since we've been here?
Since you've been here?
20 minutes.
Honestly,
We already
not that
burned the
long.
place
Like,
down.
you guys showed up and just got down to business. So not that long. Probably a little under an hour.
Are there any other signs of life here? Is it like the goblins gone? The dryads, are they reacting in any way?
The dryads, you can kind of actually hear after the explosion. I'll say that like the goblins from the party from earlier were spooked and ran off, and you can actually hear coming in through the newly broken windows, wafting from the back of the celebration of the dryads as they're happy that the goblins have finally left the orchard. They very much hated them being there.
I've never met the dryads yet, but
yeah,
I'd like to go out the back window, just looking out and say,
Sorry we blew up the place. It was necessary for the goal that we were meant to achieve.
You see a chorus of faces that kind of start to dot out from the trees, and their eyes look over at you, all kind of glowing and green. And they kind of speak in this insane univoice at the same time. There's like dozens of them. And they're all just like, oh, hey, no, that's fine. That's great, actually. As long as the trees are here, this is more of our vibe. Fuck that place.
Yeah, also don't go into the office for a while. I think it's about to catch fire. Sorry if that ignites any of your trees.
Please grab a bucket at the well and make sure to just dampen the grass around the edges of them in case the flames try to jump.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
Only you can prevent forest fire. Great. Anything else you guys want to do before you head back to the tower with the recipe?
I mean, I bonfire the whole house.
Okay, fantastic. Gimlet, any last moves? Anything you want to do?
Yeah, I think I'm going to take one of Mac's branches.
You can ask him, or you just going to go take it, or what's the...
he's still high on Lowry's.
I'm going to ask suggestively, though.
Hey, bud, what do you need a branch? What are you looking for? What kind of stick can I get you?
He shivers and like a bunch of like older dead branches fall off the tree.
Nah, not those. I want the premium ones.
I'm gonna need you to make a persuasion check, bud.
4.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if you try to take one of my branches, I'm gonna bring all the bushes in the front yard to life, and they're gonna fuck your shit up.
I still have a torch.
Hey, man, this could go one of two ways.
You give me a branch or all your friends get lit on fire?
Make an intimidation check.
Whoa. 20. Dirty 20. No, wait, hold on. That's a 4 upside down. 7.
He looks very convinced for a second, and then he summons. He wakes up like a dozen sentient bushes in the front of the house. He's like, you could fuck off now, or we could go back onto our initiative order.
All right. I like your style. I'll let you pass this time.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's right.
You can have one of the dead branches if you want. They're pretty good quality wood.
Fine, I'll take one.
Awesome. So yeah, you have one of Mac's old branches.
I'm actually adding all this to my inventory.
Fantastic. I can't wait to see this character again in another one shot with insane equipment. Oolong, any parting movements, words, actions you want to do?
I grab one apple off the ground, look to the tree, and say thank you.
You almost see the outline wisp of a dryad fanning herself again, and it just fades away gently into the wind. Awesome. So you all make your way back down the road, not even that far, just a quick trip down the road. And you see that the old man is loading all of the things up into a cart, and the driver looks super nonplussed. I wish there was some singing to do on the road or something. This is super boring. And the old man sees you all approaching, and his face lights up as you approach. He's like,
Oh, perfect. The ride is ready to go. We're going to head out soon. Were you successful in your endeavors?
Yes, we've acquired the recipe of Granny's apple pie. We haven't created anything yet, but here's a copy of it.
Of course.
he grabs it and starts reading
hold on.
through it.
He handed over half of it. I still have the other half.
Oh, yeah.
I want to
you're right.
extort him for more money.
Ooh, fantastic. So he grabs the first half of the recipe. He's like,
Okay, well, this is...
He got the bottom half just in case.
Okay, I really need the first few steps. Guys, what are we doing here? This isn't the voice I was using earlier. Fuck.
You want the rest of it?
Yes, that is why I sent you.
Double the fee.
Wait, what was he paying us?
I
to
don't
do?
care. I want more. I want twice as much. You know why?
Because
two is better than one.
Jesus Christ.
So two things are going to happen. So on one hand, by the way, he just gave you that bag you never used, by the way.
yeah.
We didn't really talk about a fee, but
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Okay.
I'd like to pull something out of the bag.
You reach into... Ooh, shit. Okay.
It's a rhinoceros.
You reach
It's a dragon.
Bubo reaches into the rust bag and pulls out a brown bear
Ooh.
as he throws the fuzz onto the ground. And it's just sort of looking quizzically at you, very confused and ready to sort of take instructions.
Are you going to
I
talk to
can't
it?
speak with animals. Hey, name's Bubo. I'm just talking like rawr, like black bear talk.
hey, can I help you? Did you need something?
Yeah, you see that guy over there, the one that next to the wagon, the old dude who's got half of a piece of paper?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's trying to not give us as much as we asked for. Yeah.
Do you want me to kill him?
Not yet. I just want you to go over there, maybe scare him a little bit, try and get my friend some extra advantage over here.
Some extra advantage. I don't know that extra advantage is. I'll try.
And he goes over and just kind of stands like a really bad hype man behind behind Gimlet, just trying to look super tough, but is kind of confused at the same time.
I take one of the curtains and I drape it around his back like a cape.
Okay, so you can still roll with advantage.
I already did.
What was it?
14. I had already done that before you started the whole bear thing.
What about the extra
So
advantage?
what I'm going to say now is make an intimidation check now that you have the bear behind you.
Okay.
With advantage.
Sure.
13. I gotta tell you, these level 4 rolls are bullshit. Coming up with the Sanguine Sea as a level 15 character.
Yeah. He doesn't seem super impressed. He's like,
Okay, well, I've really got to go. So here's 25 gold. You can have it. You could take it. You could leave it. if you want an altercation, there's like police everywhere here, like fantasy police. So it's gonna be a problem. You can't just like bear people in the street.
I'm sorry, I believe we have the right to bear arms.
Yes, but not the whole bear. You should have just got the arms.
Yeah, shit.
The problem is you don't have a permit for the bear, though. It's the arms are there, but the bear needs a license for the body and the legs.
You gave us the sack, though.
Hey, I'm not licensed. I'm leaving this town.
I cast friends on him.
What the fuck are we doing here?
Just really milking this last NPC for all the stuff you can get. What does friends do?
I have advantage on all charisma checks directed to one creature that isn't hostile.
He feels kind of hostile.
After the spell ends, the creature realizes that there was magic cast.
Okay. So you cast this. Is there a save on it?
No.
Okay.
It just happens. It gives me advantage on charisma saving or charisma rolls.
You're lucky with such good friends, or I'd be super cross with you right now.
Yeah, and I think friends really like. Did I tell you of the story of when I was just a young lad, and this guy, he was just gonna give me like normal amount of money, but I said, "Hey, we're good friends. You should give me double that," and then we were friends for life. Honestly, so I think you should double that, and then we'd be friends for life.
Make a charisma check.
That's 22.
That'll do it. He's like, oh, fine. And he dumps out another 25 gold from his bag and then dumps out another 25 gold from his bag.
Great.
So you now have 75 gold from the gig.
Thanks. We're gonna be friends for life. I just know it.
Thanks, bud. Can you have your bud also give me as your bud, vicariously buds through you, the second half of the recipe?
Oh, yeah, you want to give him the other half?
Sure thing. And as I hand it over, I go, I guess you really do attract more flies with nutmeg and honey.
God damn it.
Also, the bear is friends with you now, too, for life.
Terribly allergic. That's unfortunate, but I'm really afraid to tell him no, so that's fine.
I asked the bear to throw up some gang signs.
What? West Side?
Yeah, the bear does like a really clumsy west side. Oolong, any final actions from you?
I just take out the apple and crunch into it. Delicious.
That's beautiful. That's, as a matter of fact, you know what?
And he puts the recipe together, very excited. He's like, if you think that's delicious. And he reads through it, looks over the recipe, kind of something seems to connect for him. He's like, oh, of course, that's the secret. It all makes sense. And he snaps his fingers, and out of the wagon hops one of his little assistants that he had operating with him in the tower. And it's like a little imp, and he sends it back inside into the tower with the instructions and a handful of apples. And it comes it walks in the door and immediately walks back out into sight, just carrying a freshly baked pie with just like little heat waves wafting off of it for you all to try. And it is indeed the tastiest apple pie that you've ever had in your lives.
Delicious.
Okay, it's pretty good.
And this has been the adventure of Grammy's Country Apple Pie. Thanks, you guys.
We finished it in one session. Thank God.
We did.
Despite our best efforts.
Hey, let's do some hearts and wishes real quick, wrap things up. Actually, before we do that, let's revisit my goals real quick. So I wanted to learn and confidently run a one-shot in an afternoon without having to do a lot of fussing or forgetting details. I noticed I flubbed some stuff on the dagger heart thing. I wanted to run kind of a simpler adventure with that, get through it all in one session, manage pacing well is my second bullet, and then try out some tech to kind of make the situations flow a little bit better and be more on top of the reactions and rolls for what was going to happen next, so you guys weren't waiting for me to do stuff. So I would just love to know if you guys had any initial reactions to what I was trying to accomplish. I feel like I largely hit on all of them personally.
Mm-hmm. No, I think so. I think also given the time constraint, this is all kind of last minute. This is not the plan for today's session, so it came together pretty well, I think, given the circumstances.
I thought it was kind of the most fun I've had playing D&D. There was a lot of the character stuff and banter, and, we got to smash some things too. That was fun. There was a little bit of a puzzle to it. I mean, it had all the elements, so, 2 thumbs up because 2's better than 1.
Better than 1.
I loved it. I thought it was really well put together. Using other people's adventures is always like a good idea, and tailoring it to what you need in an afternoon and having it ready in a day, like that's pretty impressive. So I think you did really well. I think you rolled with the punches and the dragging through dull knives really well.
One of my oh my god.
Yeah, it was great.
Thanks, Daniel. Do you have any thoughts on this before we hop into hearts and wishes? The goals.
The goals? Yeah, I mean, I think you hit all your goals from what you stated. I think a lot of it is not seen during the recording because a lot of it was like the pre-work that you had to put into it, which I think some people forget about, like how much time you have to put in beforehand and like getting people together and messaging people and getting them on the page, especially with such a short time frame. So I really like commend you on doing that. I've been there and it's tough. So well done.
I am curious to know more about the technology side of it. Like I would like to know more about what program you used and how successful was it, and
yeah, so I was using a blend of on one hand, just like D&D Beyond, I was trying to make a better use of some of the technology there. But then for some of the characters that I had, there were just other resources like Rolled and Told. I really like the way that they have the character. It's like a character sheet, but it's more compressed. And it just works really well for sitting open in a browser window if you're going to page to something. And so I had like all of the possible enemies ready to go in specific tabs to click into, so I didn't have to do a bunch of like researching of them or anything like that, or understanding what could happen. The other thing that I was ready to do that I didn't get to use was I found this really cool, like if we did want to like get any sort of specific gear, I did find from this user El Nalisk on DM Academy a 5e shops catalog they put into a Word doc that you can use to just quickly search for whatever a player might want to get and then give them the cost that they would run into without having to worry too much about looking things up. It's just a really cool resource where it all sits. It's like everything you could possibly care about. And so it was an interesting thing to look through that I didn't actually end up getting to use, but I highly recommend it if anybody is looking for a way to quickly access just any items that their players might want to buy.
Super cool.
Podcast Josh here. I just thought I would do a quick cut-in with a couple of notes from myself on how things went. So we didn't need the store catalog. I just talked about that. I should have given advantage to Chris on animal handling check to buddy around with the spider. And, when he cast suggestion, I should have let them do that before I told them what the result of my roll was, but it was fine. I don't know that I really nailed the balance that I was going for, but I feel like we got everybody more involved as things went along. So that was cool. Using the computer worked really well. I used almost all of the stuff that I had preloaded. So I absolutely recommend that. Grab your laptops, other DMs, and it's a great way to manage information. The Notion note reorganization, I'm going to have to revisit. I think I want to find a more streamlined way of looking at stuff. I just found it a little cumbersome to scroll up and down and expand things out, so that might not stay. In terms of calling the shot, I absolutely did not. I was thinking they would be more conversational, investigative, and even in retrospect, I didn't really set it up to be very much like that. So I totally get why they went combat heavy, and it was fun and exciting. All right, let's cut back with everybody else and see how the rest of it went. Any hearts and wishes moments that stuck out that we really enjoyed from the session, or things you wished that happened maybe differently versus the way they did, or something you would maybe like to see in the future if you have a wish in that direction? The definition is broad, but let's start with Chris and we'll kind of rotate around let's start with Shay and we'll rotate around the table and we'll hit Eric last, if that's cool with everybody.
Yeah, I thought it was great. No.
That was Kyle.
Someone's got to do it.
Just kidding. I know it feels weird, right?
We miss Kyle.
I think Eric already touched on this. I had a little bit of everything, which is really nice. It had like a little puzzle element, a little combat element, good character interactions, which are really fun. I always like when like there's a nice kind of like easy combat right up front. Something about that, just kind of like, because it almost lets people like get accustomed to like, hey, here's what they can do during a combat in a pretty low stakes situation.
Exactly.
So that was nice. My only wish, I could have benefited personally from maybe some like from drawings of like the environment here, and I feel like when it's like an enclosed area, that helps me more. Like when it's a big open area, I don't necessarily need the drawing as much, but like in a bakery. I kind of wanted to know where things were.
Okay, that's good to know.
But that's it for me. Yeah.
That's a fair point. I did try to do a little more of like theater of the mind too, and I kind of felt it a couple of times in the battle. I was like, maybe I should have had the stairs and stuff, but we got to way through it. But that's a really, really fair point. Yeah.
As far as hearts go, I think the description of like the puzzles and things, I think you were really good with your world building in this. Like I could see where we were. I could kind of envision the different parts, like the little guard shack and the trash pile, and everything felt really low stakes. But at the same time, like there was something to solve and something to investigate, and it was really cool. I loved that, and I loved the. I think everybody did a really good job of playing their character the way that their character should be played, and so a lot of really good decisions on that. I enjoyed the whole thing. I can't say that I have any wishes, because I don't know. I did, like, I thought it was great.
Sweet. That's awesome. That's great. Yeah. And one thing on that about the descriptions and even the sort of like variety of actions, a lot of that is props to Jennifer Adcock, who wrote the original adventure here as part of Wizards of the Coast. And she actually designed this in a way where literally every interaction that you guys engaged with, there was like one of a few ways it could have gone. You could have gone puzzly, you could have gone combat, you could have gone dialogue. And it was really cool to see you all kind of, I intentionally didn't say anything up front, but you still naturally gravitated towards doing a little of all of those things. And that was really fun for me to see as a DM too. And man, it's nice to have like quick things I can riff off of for like, here's a scene description to worry about. I've definitely started doing more of that with like the normal episodes too. But Daniel, you're up next.
I think hearts, great job on hitting the time. Yeah, no, like one of the hardest parts of one shots is just hitting that time slot. So great job on doing that. Overall, the characters were fun. The adventure was fun. I felt like we got to use all of our like different abilities and whatnot and felt unique. I don't think anyone felt like they were like bored or sitting on the sidelines. So good job in getting everyone engaged. As far as wish goes, this is like such a minor wish, but like we got that like little like the rust sack with the animals, and I would have loved to see that play into like the adventure a little bit more, like it being useful. Like this is like everything was great. This is just like, oh yeah, is there something else that like I could nitpick at? I'm like, I like having items that if I'm given, there's a reason for it to be used, or there's like an expectation for it somewhere. But overall, yeah, I mean, other than that, you did great, man. Kill it.
Cool. Yeah. Normally that is given kind of at the end as an adventure, but I was taking a note from your book about like, oh, well, maybe give them the cool stuff up front as a thing.
Yep.
But I totally anticipated that you guys would use it as like a little agent of chaos but you made a blood owl instead, which is also great.
Made my own agent of chaos. Yeah. I guess we used it at the end to try to intimidate.
I forgot about it, honestly.
Yeah, it's fair. It wasn't like centrally important, which goes back to Daniel's point. Awesome. Eric, how about you? Any hearts or wishes?
Yeah, I thought it was excellent. My only little wish, maybe more with the spiders. I wanted to know kind of what that first spider's like motivation was, and I felt like there was more to it, and we just kind of killed him. Yeah, very minor thing, but
he stepped on my pie.
Yeah, no, we had to. I agree with that, but I had a great time. Like I said, this was a lot more fun than I think the previous experiences that I've had, and I feel really great right now. I liked the vivid imagery. I can rethink this in my head. I can see, my version of everything. I'm gonna dream about this tonight. Great job with your scene painting, and all of us just making those characters come to life. And I hope you have me again as a guest. Absolutely. Because, hey, 2 is better than 1.
That's right. I have a few hearts that I just want to call out to. On one hand, all of the called shots for deaths were just fantastic. Love the narration. Favorite is hands down, dull knives into the oven. Holy shit. Home run. I can't wait to Foley that. And then the blood owl, I love using that as the decoy to figure out what's going on in the room and then find the recipe and trigger the trap. That was really smart. I like the way you did that. The use of dynamite for causing the explosion with all the herbs and spices was a very fun scene. I liked that a whole lot. And then I have to say, just like, Bubo's whole fucking vibe is hysterical. I mean, Jesus Christ. Like, I feel like I have that uncle who just will not shut up. I just love it. It's great. This is super fun. I love doing like written one-shots where it's not something that I wrote because it's invariably more interesting than the things that I write, but it's also just a lot of fun to see what you guys will do with it versus what I think of whenever I read through it. So this has been a lot of fun for me tonight. I appreciate y'all being here. Anything we want to plug here at the end of the show? I've got one, but I'll wait for everybody else.
Yeah, my name is Daniel Locke. I'm the Forever DM of One Shot at a Time. We have not stopped recording. We will be back with new episodes, hopefully at the beginning of August or end of July. On top of that, you can check out the Eels at the Bridge here in Tempe, Arizona. We do block parties, we do shows, so come say hi.
Lowry's Seasoning. I would like to just throw out Lowry's out there. Some pretty good stuff. Yeah, especially when you snort it.
Go use Lowry's promo code One Shot at a Spice Boy for 0% off your order on Lowry'sSpiceBoys.com.
Can we plug Eric Cohen for just being amazing?
Oh my
Thanks
God,
for
you're going to punch this in. Yeah, plug in Eric Cohen. Absolutely fantastic comedian and improviser. He does a lot of really fun stuff over at the Bridge Improv Theater. You can catch him there on any Friday or Saturday night, probably doing some really great improv work.
And he's a solid teacher too.
Absolutely. Yeah, if you're looking for an improv coach, 17 thumbs up from my chair. Yeah,
just
absolutely.
Dreamy eyes. Like you really get lost in them, you know?
Honestly, I couldn't stop staring at him the whole time.
And that hair, it just flows.
Oh, it wasn't just me. So good. I'm so glad. Whew. Thought I was being weird. All right, great. Well, this has been another episode of Crash Course DM, brought to you by Anything You Can Do. It's a website about pretty much that. We do new episodes every other Tuesday on YouTube and your favorite podcasting platform of choice. Word of mouth is our best friend right now, so please tell your friends, your enemies, and your family all about the show. And we'll catch you here in a couple weeks.
Bye.